value that they're generating, how easily they win, is just despicable. And constantly having that effect is better than that one-time burst of getting stuff. It is 100%. Like, plus a lot of the stuff that you're going to try to combo with in those colors are too high-costed cards. Like, you're not going to be able to get all the value out of this card every time. Marin, you're going to be able to constantly get value. I think that Marin is A and that guy is B, or like this guy's the bottom of A, because I think that strategy is good, but like I think interacted with, Marin is 100% better. Marin is just constantly generating value.
But you can also just play Marin in the main board, and now you have the
Yeah,
same deck with a better commander.
There's a huge difference between having Marin as the commander, because you're always having that effect, as compared to having Nethroy, which is just that one-time effect. Because if Marin gets exiled, you're never getting the effect again. Like, that's the difference that you sub by losing the one color and playing a better commander. Like, that's just how it is. Like, sometimes it's better to play the less colors in a more broken commander than to add and try to play the same strategy. Because a lot of Yuriko decks are taking extra turn decks. So, like, Yuriko's effect is so degenerate for those decks. I'm like, yeah, okay, I could play a 3-color deck and play the same strategy, but it's not as good because I'm not generating as much value as this card would generate.
Like, yeah, but you're also just picking another color that doesn't relate to the same effect. That isn't the same. They're both doing the same thing.
Kind of deck, just because you're adding a color doesn't immediately make the deck better. The commander 1000% factors into it. Look at Anamatu, and then look at Brago. Like, this is a blink deck, and Brago is in the Anamatu decks. They play Brago in the Anamatu decks, but that doesn't mean that Brago is like the only thing that happens. And then when you have Brago, look where we put Brago. We put him in A because he's a better blink commander because he's doing the blink.
But she's not just a blink commander. Like, she could work with like a lot of other things besides just like, yeah, she works good for that, but she also has the other side part of like, I could completely flip our whole boards around and play the long game in that way. You also play her in like a weird like manifest way, which is another idea that like the design in her thing.
Yeah, Brago does all that too.
I guess, but Brocco's also a little bit more limited in it. But like, he is hardcore trying to play more of like the resetting ETB.
Marin is the value game. Marin is the exact same deck as Brago, but out of the graveyard. You're just constantly getting value, and that is better than playing an extra color with a more linear effect that just happens once. I definitely think that Marin ends up here somewhere just for that exact reason.
I'm just saying. All I'm gonna say is that Carador was the established reanimator deck in those colors for a long time, and Apex has barely been out and has blew past them in numbers because people realize how much stronger it is for like that type of strategy.
How much is Marin getting played though?
Oh, probably a lot more because it's easier to build.
Yeah, and Marin's also a better commander.
Two colors are a lot more appealing than like the 3 colors because they're just harder to build and people don't like having the four.
Marin's also way more annoying. Like, energy counters are degenerate. Like, you can experience. I mean, whatever they are. Like, you can't deal with them. Like, also, like, this can get handled. Like,
well, everything get handled.
If you kill this on the stack, like if you kill the creature that's mutating, you just lose the ability completely. This is just always happening. Like, this still enters. Like, it still enters. Oh yeah, Omnath. Oh, is that Little John? Yeah, I mean, Omnath is like an easy god tier, but like.
Well, which version? We have like 5 versions of Omnath.
I mean, they're all really broken.
Oh, do we not have the Jelly Bean in here? Did he not make it?
No, the Jelly Bean did not make it. It stopped at Tatiova and Gitrog as Landfall commanders. Okay, so yeah, like my thing is like Marin's effect is just better for that reason. Like, being able to constantly do something and not losing more to removal or like, you know, like, you have to mutate. That's a downside, a huge downside. Because if it gets interacted with, you're just getting your commander out, and it's not getting its effect.
Yeah, but that's the argument for anything. If anything gets dealt with, then you lose it.
Yeah, but Marin's just going to constantly keep coming out with the experience counters and immediately generating value out of the graveyard.
You got slammed against the Leyline of the Void, or Rest in Peace.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't playing that commander.
I mean, I know it's the same argument. You can't make the argument of like, well, you could deal with it. It's what it does is the main important part, because there's an answer to everything.
How you play it is you have to mutate it.
Yeah.
So if a creature dies in response, Marin doesn't have that condition. If you play Marin, she's generating value.
Anyway, we're taking way too much time on this, and I don't have a ton of time, so let's just move on.
All right, Jake, where do you think you would put her in the Nethroy guy?
Dude, I just took in a lot of information on a commander strategy I've never played. I hated Marin a lot. every time I played her, and I've never played against Nethroi.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's my place to differentiate it between the two. I feel like the effect is still very strong, and getting white is very good, and you can't always assume that Marin's gonna stay and that deck's gonna perfectly function, just like you can't with the Abzan one, but like they
Problem
both
is,
they're just
mutate
the
is
same flavor. They're just the
right.
same food with a different flavor. That's
The
all.
problem is like mutate, like the creature can die in the stack, and then your commander just.
No, yeah, I get the pros and cons of each. I just think that they're the same but different.
I think that Marin just grinds way better, kind of like Moldrotha, like where you're just getting to play cards constantly, and it's just way more irritating. The long game is way more important in Commander than just having a one-time push, because interaction has gotten so good that like decks like this, we're just dealing with them now.
But
Like,
the thing is, the
Jake,
Apex of Death.
when we played a game and you were playing your coin flip deck, like, and you tried to, or like when you were playing IRA, like we were just interacting way too well with what you were trying to do. Like when you sat at a table where we were playing interaction, like, I don't know. I just feel like Marin is so much harder to deal with because you're constantly just going to be able to do what you're doing, and the experience counters can't be interacted with at all. As where Nethroi gets the graveyard interacted with, like her, and you have to mutate onto something. He's also more mana. He's 7 to mutate, right? You have to pay 7 to mutate, right?
I think so.
Yeah. He's 7 mana, so he's 3 more mana than Marin is, and the creature has to live. And then you have to have stuff set up in your graveyard, so you're already asking for a lot of things. As where Marin's like, I'm just gonna play Sakura Tri-Builder 50 times, play a Protein Hulk and win. Like, it's a lot more linear of what it's doing than what this
But you're
has
running.
to do.
But the dump things in the graveyard, you're running the same exact package to get what you want in the graveyard to get out when you need it.
But this isn't better than Marin. This is better at bringing things out of the graveyard than this.
Because the cool thing about Apex Death is he could pull out the sack outlet and the Protein Hulk in one go after you've did the was it the Buried
No, I
Alive,
get
the dump.
I
You
totally get
you could dump your combo with one card, and then get them out together in the same go.
I still just don't think that the long game. So, like, okay, you can win off a Buried Alive, but then you have to get to 7 mana, as where this is interacting with your board the entire time and generating value.
But they'd be reacting with the board too, because you're running all the same creatures, all the same
Right,
good
but this is better.
enters and dies, and you get to abuse them more over time. But it's like saying, like, okay, it's a comparative. I'm going to play spells for the one time, or I'm going to care about running Pass and Flames to cast them all again.
I think that the graveyard recursion is always better. Like the long game is always better. The value is always better than the one shot. Like, it's the same thing that we, I don't know. I just think that this just outpaces this in the long run.
Maybe
Like,
in
when
the
you're
long
talking
run,
about
but
the
you
card
have to you have to try and survive the long run. So
yeah, which you're in rules, so you're gonna fucking survive. There's a million interaction spells in this deck. Plus, like I said, like if your creature if you go to pay 7 mana, then your creature dies in the stack, which is more than likely going to happen, because people are going to have interaction at that point, and probably leaving mana up by the time you're going to be able to cast this, like mutate this onto something. If like the creature you mutate on dies, then you just paid 7 mana for a commander that's not doing anything.
Tom, if you were playing this deck, would you ever give it the chance for them to interact, or would you wait till the most optimal time to do it and then do it when they can? Or
But then,
find a
like,
way to prevent
You can
it?
make that argument about all these commanders.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's not a con. You can't use that as a con because the better player won't allow that to happen. It's not really. That's not the card's
This
fault.
commander is still more volatile than Marin, where Marin's just doing her thing immediately, as where this can die and is also 7 mana. It's 3 more mana. Like, I don't know. I really have to say this deck play out more, because I've only played against it like 2 or 3 times. But like when he played it, he was going for the combos and like just kind of got interacted with, and then he just didn't really do anything. Like he was trying to dredge cards and like didn't really hit a lot. Like he was hitting cards in the graveyard and then just like played her one time and like didn't see Buried Alive or a tutor, and then just like got out like a couple value things from the graveyard once, and then just never really did anything with it. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that card. All right, Kanan. This card combos stupidly easily.
Look,
she goes somewhere here.
this card wins by itself.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't, but it does.
It does.
This card is actually brain dead. I built it, like I proxied it out over COVID, built it, bought all the cards for it, and then immediately got rid of it because I was tired of winning on turn 2. It's not fun. This card is actually fucking insane. The second you get this thing out with any of those mana dorks or Great Henge or whatever you want to do, that there are so many ways to go infinite with any of the cards with Freed from the Real and Pemin's Aura. This card is actually batshit. This card's insane. And with all that mana, you get a sink that's super good, digs deeper into your deck, and gets more bodies to do more BS.
You don't have to tap them to use that effect, right?
No, it's whenever a non-land permanent is tapped for mana, produce
No,
one more color.
I mean his other ability.
Oh no, I think it's just 7 mana, Simic, and 5. I can't read it from here, but I think it's just Simic and 5. Spin the top 6.
It is. It is. He's amazing. And the way you win is usually get Thrasios and then deck yourself.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
Where are we putting Kranko?
I don't. Goblins have had a lot of support recently.
Also, the combos are really easy. Like in
my, Derek, did you hear? Did you see the one that came out, Goblin Dienda?
Yeah. So.
That's no fun.
So I don't think he's better than vampires, because I still think that like you still suffer the same thing with red. Is that like you're only as good as what you draw and if you get any of the goblins that help dig, but like other than that,
you think it's better than like Orlora or Life Gain Tribal, or do you think it falls like kind of down here in the B range?
I think since we should judge it on how it is on average, not the nut. I think Krenko on a nut is a good ass deck in A. Like, what are you gonna do against an army of goblins? But like, he's on average performing, I would say, in the B range, probably about probably below, yeah, right there. Literally, I was gonna say right above Queen Marchesa or Queen Marquesa or whatever.
Yeah, same thing again. You suffer, and the thing is that I think if you want to play all like the tribal stuff that draws you cards that in the artifacts, that means those are turns you're spending not playing goblin cards.
All right, so this is the new elf boy. Okay, so I think he So whenever he deals damage, he makes elves equal to the damage that he deals.
Yeah.
And you can untap elves to deal 10 life. Okay, so just as a green-black elf deck, this gets into B.
You don't get a buff from elves, you just get more elves, and that depends on like how good you think that is.
Here. Because I mean, you're still like just like making creatures, really. I mean, green-red elves is really good. I mean, you know, you're a green deck that's playing elves, and elves are insane, so I think it falls somewhere around here.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of around the goblin area. Do you think it's better than Kranko, though?
Probably a little bit better, because I think elves do more, and you're also in green stuff, and there's the even green elves that draw cards and stuff.
It does have menace, too, which helps out a little bit. Okay, Sidisi. This is one of those cards that's kind of... Yeah, this one has kind of fallen from grace a little bit, but still a really strong card.
He's still got a lot of combo potential, but you have to build it into the combo potential. So just on his own, as what he does, he's just kind of like a Sultai zombie deck, kind of.
So do you think he falls here?
I think so. Yeah.
Having to attack sucks.
Like obviously, we're gonna play him in like the real way. Like you run Altar of Dementia, and you keep sacking tokens and milling yourself with zombie lords that make them bigger, and just hit your whole deck, and then flashback the whatever thing is into a Thassa's Oracle, and then you just win. What was it? The flashback sacrifice 3 creatures to reanimate. My brain ain't working.
Oh man, I can't remember what it's called.
Dread Return.
Yeah, Dread Return.
Dread Return, yeah.
But that's like that's the one version you play, but it's not how you have to play him. But yeah.
Also, just making 2/2s for value nowadays is just not great.
No.
It's really not. Okay, so Nicobolus, Grixis Flip Boy. I think he falls like under here. I don't love him. I don't like it. I don't like it that much.
So
like the flip side's cool, but I think these decks still play better.
I think the reason he's on this list at all is because
people
Nicol
like
Bolas's
Bolas.
character, not
Yeah.
not the card itself.
Yeah, and people like to play Planeswalkers.
No, his ultimate on the other side does win you the game. Well, exile.
That is true, but so do a lot of like
Yeah.
planeswalker abilities. They just like even
Does
if
it
they don't
win you the
win
game?
you.
Well, no,
I
not
don't, think, I don't think it's that one.
it exiles all cards except the last card in their library. So
Oh, right.
it basically does.
Yeah. Okay.
To tell you what, it gives them a clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
I think that we all
Gives them a
easily agree
damn.
but then
good
again,
clock.
99% of this deck, you're just playing a Grixis control deck with a Nicol Bolas shell. Is really
Yep.
usually how you play that, and you're just playing good Grixis.
Mhm.
That
So
dude,
Kaikar is definitely an A.
he is
I
combo
th-
boy McGee himself.
Yeah, I love that it just says make mana on the card.
Yeah, this is definitely
So-
somewhere around here because these decks are very similar.
So imagine if if this card was Birgi, except in those in Jeskai colors, because that's basically
And then
what
you
it
get
does.
to play Birgi and Stormkill Artist.
Yeah.
You just get to play them.
And he's a wizard,
so
Tom,
dumb.
so you play the harmonic
Do you know the
prodigy.
funny combo that Dean had with Bishop of the Weeks? It was such a funny
Oh, Tom, he's a wizard. You could play the harmonic prodigy, and you get 2 spirits.
Harmonic Prodigy is fucking tight.
I know, right?
So is Niv Mizzet. He's a spirit. I love fucking.
You mean
so
a
is
wizard.
A wizard. Sorry. Damn it.
Yo, I might buy a Varen Voice of Duality for Riley just because it triggers her so easily.
Yeah, I think that's good for you. I don't have it in Paco because it's overdoing it sometimes, but your lock is easily up here or S tier.
What does he do?
He's the
He's
best
the Panharmonicon.
He's the best
Oh,
ETB commander,
yeah,
probably.
He's busted. They were
Also-
like, what if we made Panharmonicon but gave them Sultai?
Which probably has some of the best ETB stuff next to like some white effects.
Oh, it does.
Hey Tom, you know what's a new ETB card we got? This little dude called Tireless Provisioner.
Oh god. Dude, there's also some funny ones where like you steal creatures, like royal, royal
Yeah,
elemental.
Tom,
or like,
Tatiova goes in this deck,
yeah, which.
or Scoot Swarm.
So, do we think that this makes S, or is it just like as good as Riku?
I think
I think it's better than Riku.
Yeah, I think it's
I think losing red, getting black, and just being able to make every card in your deck that much better is super
so
strong.
you get to play creatures which are in green, which are arguably some of the best color for green, or green blue, and now you have just every good ETB effect that you want in your disposable active, but like immediately, like he's Panharmonicon. If like you're playing an ETB deck, half the time you're searching for a Panharmonicon.
I totally agree. There's too many cards that draw or do things like with this commander. Plus, like Gray Merchant on the top end, like
Yep.
it's too easy to win. I totally agree. This is the only card that I think you can make an argument might be better than Kenrith.
Now,
But I mean,
is that
they're
depend-
definitely right next to each other.
so that's depending on, are we looking at what's in the main board or just what they do? Because he plays stuff for free, but he is like an engine overall. Like,
Golos is actually most made as a lands matter deck and is probably the best one.
I feel like I speak for the field here. Like, I feel like the words that I'm about to say come from the heart of 99% of Magic players out there, and that it's that both of these commanders can personally go fuck themselves.
I agree.
These commanders are actually insane. I think Golos is probably better than Kenrith. I think Kenrith is a better card, but I think Golos goes in a better deck. I think that's the difference. So I think Kenrith for this list should stay above, but I think
Also,
Golos
there's the
being a
World
land
Tree,
card
there's the
fucking
World
so
Tree
stupid.
bullshit. Derek, remember the World Tree deck we made?
Yeah.
There's that
If
stupid
you
bullshit
have a
where you get
single
40,000 gods.
Yeah, so Golos, if you have, so get this out, Golos, the turn he comes out, because he's the 5-drop, you get the World Tree. On next turn, you get to untap with the World Tree. If you have a single
Okay,
mana,
read this.
if you have a single mana doubler, you just win.
Read this. So first off,
World
every
Tree doesn't
5-color player should play this now. Every 5-color player should play this. Just because of that, it's a chromatic lantern on its second effect. So read the bottom.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But how are you gonna win with all those gods? Said Perforos and Locust God, and then the black Bantu that says sack any number of permanents you control and draw.
with Locust
wait,
God
that's
and Perforos.
actually hilarious. They all enter. Perforos hits everybody for 2 for each of them because they all enter simultaneously, all see each other, and all have devotion.
and then you're
Right.
not
And
done.
then when
and then you're not
Bantu
done.
enters, you sack everything, draw all those cards, not sacking Locust God, making
Or
all those
Perforos.
tokens. Perforos triggers again, and you have haste flyers ready to murder.
Yeah.
Yep. And then also there also you could just win because one of the gods gives haste. Actually, let me just show them the deck. Hold
Yeah.
on. We made the deck. We did it because someone asked us to, and we were like, we feel filthy after this.
So yeah, if you get a
Because
sync,
it won on like turn 5 or something.
yeah, anytime you got any of the mana doubling effects in play, which is usually what we try to look for, if you got to you slam the turn after you slam Golos, you could activate World Tree and you just win. You're looking at this isn't your list.
This isn't us.
Yeah, you're looking at like all decks.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I bet you that.
Okay, here we go.
You wanna know how I know that coin flip deck was dog shit that we saw right,
above
there?
above Copycat.
It
right
was
there.
70% red.
Oh, we
First
call
off, look at the price.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the gods you get to play are insane. Xenaghost, Valky, right? Scorpion God, Scarab God, Locust God, Thassa, Tergrid, Mauler, because
Because
you know,
it's God.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's a god.
bonus.
That's a god.
Reiki just because you draw cards. Redeem
Yeah.
because it's good. Perforos, the other Perforos because it gives things haste. Oketra because it's good. Keen-Eyed because it's good. The other Nile because it's good. This because it makes them all costless and Anthem's them and is a god of the deck so you can tutor it when you do the the shit. So Mogus because he's a good god. Mirror Entity because he's a god. God. And also makes mana, right?
No, yeah.
No, it
That
no,
one?
no, it gets cards. This makes mana good. This is just good for legendary cards. So good god, good god.
Good
This
God,
just
man.
counts for historic spells. Gigantha, just because making mana. That's annoying because it gives them all menace. The boar god, just the
Yeah.
now they all have vigilance. They all get +X equal to his power. Oketra, so that gives tokens. Bantu, that's one of the combos. Oh, this is the one that flips into the tree, and then this also taps them all for any color. So with Perforos giving them haste, you can tap every single god for colors. Erebos, because they can't get
Wait,
life.
Perforos gives haste too?
No, the other one.
Oh,
The
the
new
new Perforos. Yes.
Yeah.
Bronze blooded. Bronze blooded.
I was gonna say, holy fucking shit! I didn't realize it did that too.
Cosmina, Consecrated Sphinx because we're fuckboys. Beast Whisperer. This one is the one that saves things.
Oh wait, we forgot Aethros. So after we sacked everything to Bantu, we leave Aethros in play because now you have to choose. Do you want to pay the life
Yeah. You want to pay 3?
Yeah,
for all of them?
yeah, it's pretty dumb. And then you just look at the rest of the library. See, we're playing Valakut Awakening because the card's good. And then you just tutor the World Tree, so
Yeah.
it's a fair deck.
Man, I
So-
hate your decks. You have 34 lands and so many rocks in that shit. My
Okay,
commander's
so
5 mana. I have
Anamar.
31.
Anamar is actually pretty fucking gas.
Yeah.
That card's super good.
We love this card. We
Yeah.
actually just put this in. What did we just put this
The
in?
Cascading
The
deck.
Cascade deck.
Because
Which I don't think Yidris is on this list, believe it or not. Yidris is pretty popular. I'm surprised he's not. But he's probably just a little bit lower. So Anamar is really good at abusing playing big things. But how good is that? Does that fall around her? Like, just because it's not generating the value, it's just letting you play the cards. So is it just as good as like this that's kind of cheating,
It has blue.
It is true. It does have blue.
also it makes Eldrazi's cost nothing.
Yeah, which is kind of dumb. But I mean, you do have to play a lot of things, but playing a team or creature deck is fine.
Yeah, you're playing creature.deck in green, blue, and red, which is probably the best colors for it, maybe.
I think it falls here. And I think at the bottom of A.
All right.
Because, like, these are, like, combo deck. Actually, I kind of want to put Edgar all the way back here. I think that these decks are better.
Can we just put Edgar at the top of B now?
I actually think Marin is better than these. I think that he's better than those.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he's better than Derevi.
I think that Edgar is B.
All right.
You don't think it's better than Derevi?
I think, yeah, I don't think they're better than Derevi.
Okay. So,
Derevi's super OP. He gets to dodge commander attacks. He has so many cards that are just busted with his ability. Like,
I agree. I think he's landing here. Because I think Gitrog is a better card for this deck, but he's missing a color.
It's basically that they're trying to. Well, actually, not trying. But you do get extra land play.
And this deck combos like it's baby's first day. Like, don't say that people that are not playing CDH or not playing Dakmor Salvage, they're still fucking doing it. Like, it's still happening.
Dakmor Savage is still a budget card.
This deck is such a budget deck to make, exactly. So, like, I think that for that reason, it lands somewhere around here because it's the value engine. But is it better than Windgrace?
Yeah.
Dark Ritual has been reprinted 850,000 times.
I think it's
Dakmor
better
Salvage
than her, too.
is nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Do we even have to talk about this? The question is, does she get here? I think so. She's pretty fucking stupid recently.
You get to draw a lot of cards, and you get a lot of, and you gain life, and I guess it depends how good.
Like, I think that with how degenerate Land's Manor has gotten,
I think she's better than the Panharmonicon one.
I think so too, because again, the argument about it's in the command zone, I think it's better than Kanan.
I don't think that I could stomach that it's better than Urza and Kanan.
Well, in casual. You have to think about it in casual setting.
I think in a casual setting, I think
casual setting, that's the best card in Magic.
What, Tatiova or Kanan?
Tatiova. Kanan, you at least have to build a deck around. Like Tatiova, even if you just build a random ass deck, you still need lands, right?
Yeah.
No matter what, you're going.
We're talking about at every level, Tatiova's pretty insane. Like, also, she can combo easily. Like, you know the combo. It's Dried Arbor. There's also the Retreat to Korra Helm combo, or a Bounce Land with... Like, there's a million ways to combo in those decks. So, like, I mean, at a casual setting, she might be better than Thrasios.
Probably.
She might be better than Joyra. Honestly.
No, I think she's also... I think she's better than Korvold casual. I think she's better than Zur casual. I think she's better than...
Tatiova's just kind of fucking insane. Like, I think she stops behind Chulane.
They put a Planeswalker emblem as a creature that you can play from the command zone.
Yeah, like I
Need
think
I say more?
CEDH, like a lot of these would move up. Like Kanan would be easily above like most of these. But I think as far as like not even just casual, but just high-powered casual, not getting into CEDH, even just at any level that you build this fucking card, it just ends up being good no matter how it is. And there's a lot of things that abuse draws. Like, you can make draw card tribal. Like, there's a lot of Chasm Skulker, like, just the things that play off of drawing cards. We've gotten a lot of those in the past. Like, recently, you know?
Yeah, if you took a random number-generated compile list of Simic cards that are average at least, and put it together, Tatiova would work. She's just that good. No matter what, you are getting value with this card. Like,
I kind of want to say Yarlock is better than Urza in a casual setting. Do you agree, Derek?
I agree.
Yeah.
With that. Because Urza, you still have to use him. You just have to put the other guy on the battlefield. Like there's no.
I feel like this like lands here, honestly, because you still get to play interaction. Like, these are just enablers, and they're like win conditions in the command zone. Honestly.
I think Korvold gets moved behind Yarok. Right?
Oh, no.
Yarok?
No, because the fact that this says draw on its own, I think that because this says draw on its own.
Right. It's whenever you sack something. You draw,
and the thing is, there's so many things that self-sack, even by accident.
Like you do, Derek, on accident, Jund. Like you just.
Let
me use my Sidisi. I'm gonna demonic tutor and then draw.
Yeah,
like
or
Derek
you're like,
said,
Evolving Wilds. There you go. Yeah. I accidentally put this in my starting deck, and I draw.
Or you play Ramanap Excavator, or like you play the Gitrog monster. You play the Gitrog monster, and you sack a land. Like also. Jake, with tokens, it works. With that new card that makes treasures when something attacks, every time you sack a fucking treasure, that means Pitiless Plunder. When you sack a creature, it dies. You make a treasure, you sack the treasure, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
Insanity.
Is it not just ETBs for Yarok?
No, I'm saying for Korvold.
Oh, for Korvold, yeah.
This is also permanent. So Yarok triggers Field of the Dead. It triggers that weird aura that steals a creature and untaps 5 lands. Yarok just wins with Palinchron. You know, just with like that. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think Kanan in a casual setting is better than all 3s, and if this didn't have partner, I'd put it down here. Honestly, because it has partner, it gets to stay up here. because it gets usually played with this or Crom, which, believe it or not, Crom's, I don't see any other partners. Alesha, definitely an A tier.
Yeah, the quickest bottom of A I've ever seen.
This is the best Mardu deck for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than these two because it wins easier. Actually, this deck wins pretty easily, and it has black. I think it lands here because this is like a godlike enabler, and like the strategy's really good, and you get to play dumb Eldrazi, which makes the deck really good because that's normally what.
Also, don't forget it's
The other build is Anamorphs. Also,
and it's protected from like 2 of the main colors.
And it gets fucking huge. So like you can just slam jam. I think it lands there for sure. I think that's fine. It's such a good commander. It's kind of fallen a little bit, but it's still really good. So Morphon, the boy, also a godlike enabler.
Yeah, I think he's the tribal commander when you don't have a good commander for a tribe.
But how good is that? He's
not
5
great.
colors. He's 5 colors though. I think he lands like
so you either make it something kind of janky or shenanigan-y with like creature types that don't matter, or you like make him like a weird commander for commanders that or tribes that don't have good commanders or ones that you don't like.
I mean, you get to play green with any tribe. Which
It's
is
like when I
nice.
was talking about like I wanted to build the actual 5-color Eldrazi deck, and I would have to use him because he's the only one I could use. And it's just like it's cool, but like, is it really all that great just to play a tribe that's like without a commander that doesn't really do too much besides just being
Do we
a
think
lord?
it lands? I know, I totally agree with you.
I
think
put
it's
him.
such a
I
complex
put him.
play.
I put him below the other ones because I think the other ones are better focused.
Yes, I totally agree. Okay, Kess. So as far as casual goes, I don't think Kess is really that amazing. I think as an instant sorcery tribal deck, she's kind of cool.
I mean, it's
but
a free.
Get her into A tier.
So it's a
I
free.
think so.
Maybe because it's a free. You also get a free spell every turn too, like for flashback. It's like
You could also still play the Oracle combos in casual.
Even if you don't, if you just play, because she's obviously meant to be a Spells Matter commander, so you play Spells Matter, and now you have a
demonic consultation.
yeah now.
Yeah. Also, Tainted Pact also just got reprinted too.
So Tom, imagine that you got to have every turn for free a Snapcaster Mage come into play.
Yeah, no, she's definitely.
That's what she does.
Is she better than the Eldrazi deck?
Probably.
I think so.
It makes
Better than the Mardu Reanimator deck?
And all spells are open to her, and she's also in really good colors for control.
Do we think she goes above the X spells matter with combo with? Like...
Maybe. I think she just is underneath the reanimation because I still think creatures coming back from the graveyard are better than spells, unless you're building hardcore combo with it. Like that's how people build her. But
I think landing there is perfect.
Yeah.
Do we really think Derevi's better than all 4 of these? I feel like Derevi gets knocked back like he.
I think Derevi on his own, if you're not like building the deck around him, like you get to untap stuff, and it's like how good is the stuff you're untapping? Like what makes him really good and scary from our perspective is that most people play like degenerate kind of like stacks that he gets to avoid by hitting you.
I think all these cards are better than Derevi though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it's doing enough. Oh, the boy. This card's fucking annoying.
D tier. No colors. It's dog shit.
Yeah.
Can't play green. Auto D tier. I'll make an F tier.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Play artifacts to get your mana cheap?
No, for reals.
What are you, a clown?
We've been putting a lot of commanders in A tier, but that's because we do have a lot of really strong.
These
Most
are also
of the top played commanders are A tier commanders.
I might stick Kozlik in B.
I do agree.
Just because you still
pretty high though.
While he's really good, you can do some shenanigans with him. He still just misses out on like. I don't have color.
Draw, though. And the Eldrazi's are so fucking annoying. Like me and Jake got Ugin the other day, and we were like, "This fucking sucks."
Dude, honestly, we got Ugin, and I was like, "I'm going home."
Yeah, like he was trying to play my Paco Haldan deck, and then the dog died like 50 fucking times.
I was playing a game the other day, and I'm playing Damia. Yo, this is elite play, right? So I have nothing in play, and the guy next to me goes Ugin. I'm like, I'm cool with this. I have nothing in play. And then I think he negged it just a little bit, and on my turn I go, okay, Shark Typhoon. And I'm like, you could kill Ugin to try and kill it, but ladies and know, I'm sitting there with a bounce spell in my hand, so because I was gonna bounce my Shark Typhoon back to my hand, when he negged it, so I didn't lose it, and made him use his Ugin. And then someone else went and just killed it. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes it easier for me. But I had this elite play
Now I
lined
just
up.
keep a Shark Typhoon.
Yeah,
I think this lands here with like
Yeah.
the good tribal commanders that like
yeah,
he doesn't really have any combos anymore since Paradox Engine got banned.
mhm.
But you know he's still a insane value commander because you're just gonna play your entire hand out and play him like, and it's really easy to cast him because there's godlike mana rocks. Okay, so Taste is an easy A. Does she make S? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No,
She's
I don't think she's S tier.
But where does she land?
She's
around
limited
here?
she's limited by Orzhov.
I think she
yeah,
lands.
that's the
like,
thing. So every time I've
here?
tried to build or design Orzhov, it always has this issue with the colors of what they have. It's like, man, it just kind of sucks sometimes. Where I don't feel like they've never really printed enough to make them like feel amazing. I've tried to build
But I
so
mean,
many Orzhov decks.
Look, black white for what she's doing is godly.
Yeah,
you have
she's
everything you fucking need. Like all the die triggers for fucking days.
Yeah,
like she made cards become $40.
hmm
So I think she lands somewhere around here. Like I think I'd put her around Gitlog power level. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
I also think Gitrog is better than Kadena.
I gave Alberto my Cuckoo show after we lit up in his car, and now that was a very bad investment.
Yeah. Okay,
was
so this is
$5.
landing somewhere around here. Yeah. This is landing somewhere around here too.
You won't want. I almost would say you could stick him next to Urza because he is in the same sense where like what he's trying to do, he does everything that you need him to do. Just like kind of Urza is like,
Do
okay,
I think Dogmoth is really an S tier card? No, I think he needs too much is the problem. Like, you need like like he's sacking things, but like he's not doing the reanimating.
but isn't that the same thing for
You know,
with?
no, I'm gonna let Jake actually talk about this because he does play this deck a lot.
And so
yeah.
I play it as well too.
I feel like this deck is. I think the screen's frozen for me unless you're not moving. But
He's not moving currently.
No,
I-
yeah,
I
I'm
just
just
feel
thinking-
like
I just put
Yogg-
it in A right now for.
He's so strong. There are a combo with him. He's in mono black. He is removal on himself. If you need you need to do extra counters bullshit or whatever you need to do, it's just so he can do everything. This card is insane. He draws you cards, he sacks whatever he wants. Oh, I lose life, whatever. He is so strong. His converted mana cost having obviously just being black and 2, obviously very soul ringable. This card is bonker boys, and there are cards, dog shit free cards that combo with Yawgmoth. Scarab's Nest. There
Yeah.
are just some cards that go absolutely insane with Yawgmoth. He could deal with the board. You don't even need that much. If you have one creature that if you just have reassembling skeleton, you can just keep everybody's board in check at all times. Or they have to waste removal to get rid of Yawgmoth, where your deck still functions by itself. You're playing a mono black deck and you're gonna cheat anyway. Like, Yawgmoth is absolutely ballistic. I don't think he's better than Urza. I think he's better than Yuriko. I don't know about Riku, just because how strong that effect is.
There's there's
Yawgmoth is less mana cost. It's easier to play him too.
there's also a really funny thing you do. Even his proliferating. So there's this one card that I play in Yawgmoth because it's an absolute blowout when you get it to go off. You play Archfiend of Ifnir, which is whenever you discard or cycle a card, you put a -1 counter on each creature you control. Yawgmoth, you discard the cost, and then he proliferates. So with one activation, you've dumped two neg counters on every creature your opponents control, and it's only
I
opponents.
think it's just a hyper value engine and it lands here.
Yeah.
And again, if this didn't have partner, it wouldn't be up here. This
Mhm.
would be somewhere around here, but because it has partner, it immediately makes it bad shit.
Yeah, Yawgmoth, hella good.
Yawgmoth is insane.
I think he lands somewhere around here. I think it's hard. To
And
compare
he's
him to
weirdly
Rico.
protection from humans, so you can't target himself. So if
Yeah.
someone else plays Yawgmoth, you can't deal with each other.
So we good with that?
Yeah,
And they
Do we
can't
think we
steal
should
your
move up at all?
Yawgmoth to kill itself.
yeah.
So Arcadies, this is a really strong commander.
Mhm.
I think this goes here.
I still think it falls into the limited of it. You have to find the certain pieces that make your walls good to attack. If you don't have those,
No, he is that.
oh, right, he is that right.
Yeah, he
No,
just
yeah.
makes them attack. This commander's ridiculous. He
No,
makes
yeah,
them
this-
attack.
but
You
he's better
draw
than
when they
Doran.
enter. Flying Vigilance. Yeah, he's fucking insane, dude.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot.
No,
Yeah.
he is the enabler.
Yeah,
He's
and
the
he draws.
enabler and
so
the
then you have
draw.
the walls that draw. So then you have the walls that draw also, and then you just play like the everything gets +0/+5 for 2 mana, and you're all fucking dead. Like this, there's actually combos too, because Axebane Guardian, with like any of
Yes.
the untappers.
He makes
so
infinite mana in walls. That fucking lunatic.
I think it's better than all these cards. Like I think that he's way more annoying. When I play against Dom's deck, like I hate playing against that strategy to be completely.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't say Dom's deck is exactly a casual.
No, but it's about
But it's
where
not a
people will play.
CEDH.
Yeah, it's not a
No.
CDH deck. Like it.
It's a
I- I
7/8.
There's a difference
Yeah.
between I say casual and then like there's a lot of range in casual, and I would still wouldn't consider like high powered, like spending like $1,000 on a deck as casual, because I
Do you
wouldn't
think this
call
is better than
that
basic?
casual. If I have to if I have to spend like 2 months saving up to buy a deck, I'm not calling that deck casual.
I think this falls like somewhere up here because this is kind of ridiculous. I don't think it passes Game Rock. But also, do we think Nekuzar should stay here? No, I think it stays here.
No.
Uh,
No, you could just get completely blown out in like a single turn with Nekuzar. It's way too easy.
Yeah, so like I think he's better than Kadena. There's more walls for sure. But they don't do good effects is the thing.
Yeah,
But
most
he
of
could just constantly play them. This is not limited to once per turn, so I think this card is better.
all right, yeah.
And
Right,
then
right.
like remember, like Dom makes like 30 power in like turn 4. Like
Dom draws 5 cards a turn and he plays dog shit creatures.
and then Derek, the board wipes you get to play.
Yo,
the ones
yeah, I
that
know.
target the toughness. Oh my fucking god! Like
No, the
You
power.
get to play 5 of them. Yeah, you target the power and kills everything that's higher than 0. Like he plays all 5 of them. Like it's so fucking annoying.
All right, what we got next?
Okay, so the next one is Feather. Feather's pretty good. I don't think it lands. I mean,
No, he's B or C.
Limited by Boros.
I think he's B. I think he lands somewhere around here.
No, I put him way lower than that.
Probably
Lower than
like
B?
no, just lower in the tier. I'm thinking like here.
I don't know, because
No,
here's
Kira's
the
still better.
the thing is, isn't it only you don't get the card back right away, and it's only one time.
No.
No,
isn't
it does it every
it's
time. It's every time
Okay.
you target one of your stuff. Yeah, no.
But you
it's-
don't get it.
can
But you
swap.
also don't get it back to the end step, which is kind of annoying. Like I wish we could just give it back right away.
I think it lands here. I think these are still better. What do you think?
I think it just sucks to be Boros the more I look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, it's so
Because thing is, what makes the deck good is you
Oh,
play
but-
like red cantrips and like Sunforger to get more. But like, is going through all that effort really better than
Thank
just
you.
like I
10
play?
people watching right now.
Is that really better than just going Queen Marchesa with a handful of kill spells? Or like,
Short answer is no, but I think the card is still.
I guess it has more potential, but thing is, it's only spells that target
More
it.
people are just trying to Voltron mostly, and I don't think that's good enough. Like I agree with Derek.
Yeah,
Like, it
because
just
thing
gets
is,
body
most of the time you're playing spells that target itself, and a lot of spells you do target are just like usually little buff spells that draw you a card. They get the cycle. Like you're not
Don't
looping.
talk shit about Expedite.
Yeah, you're not burning like you're not reusing burn spells.
Tassiger's
Tassiger,
landing somewhere around here.
you're just a good reanimation and like good value engine because you always have just keep getting stuff back.
Yeah.
Is it better than
In a casual format, I feel like it's a little bit weird to play. I think he just opens up a little bit more in casual because then I could build reanimator, I could build just spells and keep trying to get them back.
Yeah, I think he's pretty fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
I think Tassiger, if you read the card, you know it's super fucking strong. You get Sultai, you get Delve, which is just one of the most broken mechanics ever in Magic. Like,
What are you talking about?
I
It
think
it only banned 2 guards.
Do you think
Yeah,
it goes?
right?
up
Like, sorry,
to the
3 of them
Do you think it
because
goes
No,
up
three.
Hogak.
around here? Where do you think it's landing?
I wouldn't put it above all those up there
Not-
because those have immediate value right away. I put them around like maybe like
Alesha, probably. Like, no, he's probably right below, around Kess. Right? Wouldn't he be around
Where's
Kess?
You think
Kess
Kess?
is-
You think so, Derek? You
Yeah,
think?
because in casual, like, what does he do when he enters? Like,
nothing.
You're right.
It's more
that's
so
like
you.
a big thing. Like, he doesn't accumulate idle value. He
I think-
needs to be used.
I think he's still better than Cass for sure.
Oh, I
My
think
boy.
he's better.
Oh my fucking boy.
He gives you soul tie.
I
Oh my
I don't
god, dude. Casual, toss him up an S.
No, I'd probably
Oh,
put him with the other
Dude,
good tribes.
dinosaur.
I put him with
I
the other
prob-
good tribals, or maybe
I
the better tribals. Is we had one like by dragons maybe. We've got so many.
he's pretty fucking broken. But the thing is, because honestly, like drawing less, like and being able to play things, like
Below Nekuzar, above Brago.
so like Ur Dragon is drawing and like plays a permanent. Gishath can play 7, like, and then I give him double strike and like you draw off of all them entering because green does that. Like, and then you're drawing a million cards, and I have 40 cards in my hand, and it has combos. Like, it actually has 3 combos in the deck with the Raptor, the one that when it gets dealt damage.
Polyraptor.
Yeah, with Polyraptor.
But yeah, even just
it has a couple.
But looking at Gishath just off the bat, like what does he do just on his own? I put dinosaurs into play, and dinosaurs have had a lot of support and are just generically pretty good.
I think he lands there.
I think because of trample and haste, I think he's higher than that. I think you kind of the whole downside of having to attack is mitigated by haste and trample.
And the fact that
that he's fucking massive. What are you gonna throw in front of a Gishath?
And you're in green, so he's coming out early.
So
yeah,
where are we putting him?
Maybe above Gitrog, or maybe right below Nekuzar.
I think he's right. Yeah, that's what I said. I said below Nekuzar, above Braga is where I would put Gishath, probably.
He's kind of ridiculous. He's in like the perfect colors for it too, and the protection
no
is
shit.
good. Like I don't have a Teferi's protection, but like I could be playing that, and we're getting that shield.
Avery says S tier.
That's Ashley.
No, dinosaurs goes in D tier for dinosaur. Just like they go for D for dragon because the new episode of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. That new character is great.
Yo, they came in so strong. I love it. Anyway,
she's like, wait, so you don't like the boobs? And like, it's just like, that was funny. Anyway, so I kind of agree. Like, I really undersold Gishath for a while. Like, I started playing it. I'm like, this is definitely a casual deck. And then, like, the more I started to play it, listen, all right?
I attack you for 736.
The more I started to play it, and I realized, like, giving it double strike is kind of a joke in white. Especially Duelist Heritage is, like, the big one that I use. And then there's a dinosaur that does it, also, that I can hit off of him. I also play Silverblade Paladin. And then double slap and no... If I have double slap and no napping with Odric... Like, that happens because I'm playing Odric in the deck with double slap and no
all the dinosaurs ascend simultaneously. They all just become gods.
And also, like Derek said, after Aquaria, I think dinosaurs went from B tier to A tier. Because Quartzwood Crasher and Proud Willbonder and the Apex Altasaur, the one that fights things, that's the 10-10. Like, Quartzwood Crasher, do you know what Quartzwood Crasher is, Jake?
No, sir.
But let's not get too far into explanations because we're arguing a little bit late, so let's try and finish this up.
Yeah, so Quartzwood Crasher just makes an XX for the amount of trample damage that you deal.
So, rogues, I would say, honestly, in probably like low B, high C.
I think I'd put it with like the tribal commanders, like around here.
I think probably the bottom of it. I actually would put it under Morphon. As cool as the deck is, and I love playing it, it needs some help, which we are getting, so I'm hoping to see how that goes. But its big issue is they don't get big enough to kill people, and you're not milling fast enough to kill people.
This card's fucking insane.
You do get the draw.
Let me tell you something. I'm 95 to 97% positive that Little John is currently watching, waiting for me to get off to play Valorant with him. And I watched this motherfucker fumble and misplay and sack the wrong things and not play the right cards and still beat us with that deck.
Wait, with what deck?
Still beat us with 4-color Omnath.
Oh, have you read that card? It doesn't stop. It's a paragraph.
So, honestly,
it just does too much.
I think that this one is really good too because this one turns into Tatiova. But the thing is, like, where do we land them? Like, is it good enough? Like, I know it does a lot, but the question is doing the 3 effects that many times put it in S tier? Like with all this, I think it does
because casual.
But I'm
in
trying
casual,
to
gaining 4 life is good, dude.
Yeah, Yes, and then you can also do it off your turn too. Like you can abuse it. It doesn't just say your turn, right?
No, it does not.
So like you can like fetch a land
Yeah.
off your turn and then do the thing. So like I feel like it's
Harrow,
good.
crop rotation. There's so
But
many
honestly,
options.
This one's more like Tatiova, and elementals are kind of fucking slamming.
There's a lot of good ones.
Like Royal Elemental and everything. So like having this secondary effect and being a Tatiova, even though it takes a little bit, like, but is it better than Riku? Like both of these, I don't know. Riku
I think
generates.
four color Omnath is because like he again is accidental value, which is like so fucking strong. Like you at least need to play cards. Like lands aren't dead draws enough, you know? Like there are so many cards that get so many lands to accumulate multiple things of value, and you could do it off your turn, on your turn. You don't care. Like
think he lands
burgeoning,
I think he lands
you
there.
gain 16
Also,
life
just-
per turn.
Now you don't.
You're playing the dream colors for a Lands Matter deck. Like you get to play everything. Like you even get the white card that like the retreat that makes the cats and puts counters on everything. You get Morog, you get the Jelly Bean. The only thing you don't get is Gitrog, but like you get everything.
Yo,
the
so-
gas.
Low key, I think. Actually, let me just read the other one again because I think Locust of the Royal might be a little bit better because and it's in like
That's
a
what I'm saying.
casual
It is
format.
Tatiova. It is Tatiova.
It draws a card. But the other one, you can activate a bunch, but you don't
And
get
then-
to actually draw a card.
Right, and
You
then
gain life,
using
get
Power
mana.
Host or copying, like this one deals damage to things. Like this kills things. Like I think it's slightly better than the Locus of Creation. Even though like you have to take time to get this going, like you're a green deck. When does it start happening? Like turn 5?
Honestly, if you're just looking at just a state of what like Locus of Creation does, minus of what you can put in the deck, its effects on its own are just kind of okay. Gain 4 life, get 4 mana, deal 4 damage.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that Locus might be
Deal 4 damage to each OP. So it's 12 damage on your third land drop total per turn. And then also getting 4 mana for free is super strong.
Yeah, but I feel
For
like
playing 2 lands, you play a fetch land, okay, I now have 9 mana on turn 5.
But the problem is with all these cards up here in S tier is that they're constantly being able to generate this value. As where to really use this card, you have to like abuse like either copying it or like blinking it and then using it again.
or just
like,
having
this-
a lot of landfalls, and sometimes
if
you
you
might
look
not
at the
have
rest of
3.
the
You might
cards-
have 2 or 3 lands to play in a turn. It's happened. Like I
Right.
played Omnath, and
I think he kind of lands here, honestly,
Like-
around Riku, because Riku can constantly use his effect. Yawgmoth can constantly use his effect. This is only once. Niv Mizzet can constantly use its effect. Like
well,
these are just
half a
cards that are-
Yuriko is only once. The rest of the time, it's always.
I just think that, like, yes, Jake, on the surface, the 4-color landfall deck is amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, it's godlike. You have everything you ever wanted in this world, and that deck is good. But like,
Besides
as far as
Gitrog. The
as
one
far as
thing
like,
we really want.
yeah, as far as like a commander, I think I can argue for it to either be here or somewhere around here. Because
I'm fine
well,
with it being above Yogg or below Yogg. Around there.
this doesn't have combos at all. So like,
It's colors,
This-
dude. That's not
this
fair.
just murders really well. But
Well, we're just talking
I
about
mean,
like the commander on its own. Because here's the thing: is like as someone
do
who's
you
played,
think Niv Mizzet is like more next to this and better than Yuriko?
I don't
I
because
kind of think.
I
so.
think Niv Mizzet might, in a casual setting, be probably better than Yawgmoth, just because its outlets and its colors.
and you get and it's
so much
remember
more flexible.
remember
I
it's
kind of
whenever your opponents cast the spell, the instant or sorcery, you draw 2, not just your own. So even just your opponents playing the game gets you value.
I think that Omnath lands somewhere around here, just because of not being. Here's the
Is
funny thing: it's the way that the deck plays almost makes him an S tier, because like it's playing all of this, it's playing this, it's playing this. Like you're playing all of it, like and Yurok, like you could play. No, you can't play Yurok, but like you know, it's playing all of those.
But you
cards.
can play
Like,
Tulane.
Tulane, yeah, like it can play all these cards.
Yeah,
It's
Tulane, Tatiova, every other Omnath ever printed if you wanted. Like,
Right. That's the cool part about it. So, like, if we're talking about the deck that it gets to play, I think that it definitely lands either here or here. Because it's pretty fucking insane what it gets to play. But its effect is kind of mediocre on its own. Like, drawing one card a turn compared to what's happening up here.
Well, 1 card a turn if you could blink him. It's only a 1-time blink draw when he enters.
No, it's... Oh, he doesn't even draw when a land happens?
No.
no,
Oh.
he only draws when he enters. That's his problem.
He's here then.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's higher than Yuriko.
Do we
Because
think
Yuriko
Locust
just
is better
murders.
than Atraxa?
I do.
I think it is.
I think Locust is probably better than Omnath too. Nah.
No,
I,
I
s-
think
close.
Omnath
I
is
still
better
make the
than Atraxa.
argument for Atraxa because whatever the design you're trying to do, whether you're doing +1 counters or Infect or Planeswalker, she's like the best one for those.
For
But
yeah,
this is just playing-
she has so variety, is the best at all the
Right. But what Locust God does is just so insane,
Win.
and it does it so easily, because you just play a Perforos and play like a Seagate Restoration and the game ends, as where this is just playing the board. Like, this can play the board and, like, just win out of nowhere way easier than probably this can.
Well, I know you're also running it's really easy to combo in all those, and like for both of them, honestly.
Oh, I get it. But I feel like what this does, it's just more linear, easier, and, like, simpler, and does it well. Like, this, you're playing cards to, like, you know, make this strategy work, as where this is just playing draw spells. And, like, damage dealing.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
You know,
I think
just-
the Locust God, even if you don't build towards it, is still getting you stuff. Where I
It
get,
also can
I
draw.
guess Atraxa, you need to be playing those things. To, I mean, hey, if maybe if you want to, you could play a weird +1 counter Voltron deck on her, and because she's got